What's up, traders? It's Patrick Masters here with Parabolic Trading, and this is preparation for the upcoming week of the stock market for June 9th. This is what I do every Sunday night is I will go through the sectors and the indices, and I will run my 90-day Momo scan, and I will check for stocks for the last 5 days, the last 30 days, the last 90 days. And this is where I will generate not only ideas to day trade tomorrow, but also potential swing trades to look for later this week. So the first thing that I do before I do anything at all, right, is I will look at the SPY, and I want to come up with a bullish, a neutral, and a bearish scenario for the week, right? So as we can see, as I have covered in previous market recap videos as of last week, this is where we were, right? So let's see here. Let me get my cursor here. We should. Here we go. All right. So this is where we were back prior to the pandemic, and as you can see, we flushed down and we have come all the way back, right? So it's kind of. I'm a little indifferent right now. I'm kind of it's really going to depend on market action tomorrow morning as far as price action. What's going to happen? I do think we need some sort of a pullback. Obviously on Friday, the big gap up in the morning took a lot of the range out for a lot of plays, plus many stocks were on a day 5 move. So naturally, a lot of them pull back. There were some really great short opportunities. I just didn't feel confident in shorting stocks with the market just roaring the way that it was. So my bullish scenario right now is I think we just keep ripping, right? So in TC2000, you can hit the shift in and it will give you notes, right? So you can actually put notes on your chart that you can actually refer back to. So what I usually do is I like to put my scenarios in here, right? So as far as the SPY, right, my bullish scenario for the week most likely is going to be it just keeps on ripping, right? Keeps ripping. My neutral scenario, I think, for the SPY, again, what I would like to have happen, right, is we just kind of consolidate sideways and let the 9 EMA tighten up, right? As we can see right here, it is not, we kind of got some, almost a $14 gap, right, between the 9 EMA and the current price. So we want some, perhaps we want some sideways consolidation. If I could type, right? And tightening of the 9 EMA, right? So, and this is just my neutral. Let me go ahead and put neutral in here as well. And then, of course, my bearish scenario most likely is going to be, I would say, price dumps below the 9 EMA, right? Drops or breaks down under the 9 EMA. Now, you ask yourself, why do this, right? Like, you can just look at this and say, okay, well, this is what I think can happen. But again, you're giving yourself a note, right? So you're giving yourself a plan, right? So you kind of keep an eye on this week, right? And of course, to save it, you just click Control Enter, and there we go. We've got our note on our chart, right? So again, the whole point, like we can actually pull the notes up here. We can see view all notes and well, there we go. So again, we want to kind of keep an keep an eye and a little bit of an imagination of what we think potential scenarios could be for the week. Why? Well, because then at least we have a plan of attack, right? So if we just keep being bullish all week long, well, then we kind of have an idea on how to play things. Again, if we just start going sideways, well, then it's going to our plan, right? We're getting a little bit of a consolidation, tightening before our next move. And of course, the bearish scenario we can plan for in the worst case, which is if it breaks down under the 9. You also have the 200 SMA here as well, with the 20 not far behind. I mean, it would be really, really bearish if it busted all 3 of these. But again, I don't think it's going to happen. I really think we're just going to have a sideways week. Then again, look, this market doesn't give a shit, right? It has shown it. This is the pandemic, right? And this is where we are. We are only maybe, we are possibly maybe $20 off all-time highs. So I do think we have kind of made back all the gains, right? And if we can look at the QQQ and see the same thing, actually the QQQ is already back up. Actually, it has broke where it was earlier this year. So the QQQ has already made it makes all of its losses back. So the first thing I like to do is I like to go through the sector indexes, right? This will kind of give me an idea on what sectors are hot, what sectors I may need to be watching, what sectors are potential breakouts, right? So we can look at these. And now on TC2000, the nice thing about this is over here to the right-hand side of this sector, there's this little hamburger menu. And you can click it, right? And it will open up all the stocks in that sector. Now, I've already done this, and I've actually docked this window down here. So anytime I click this, it'll automatically populate all those stocks in this window. So I don't have to go and click each one and resize it and then, add my column sort and stuff. And again, I have my column sort here. As you can see by the top, I have the symbol, the price, volume, percentage change, net change. I have the average true range for the last 14 trading days. I have my 90-day momentum, 30-day momentum, and 5-day momentum. And I also have year-to-date. I don't really pay much attention to year-to-date, especially right now, because, again, everything kind of got tanked, and now everything's kind of coming back, right? But I really want to focus on 90, 30, and 5 days, right? So for 5 days, for the 5-day sectors, I want to look and see what are the hottest sectors for the last 5 days, okay? Again, I don't think I have any conditions on my scans here. Let me see. Let me just make sure. I have no conditions on my scan, so we're good. But again, what I like to do is I like to go through and kind of I go through the sectors. Now I'm going to go through stocks on the indices list, right? But again, I just kind of want to have an idea of what could be the potential hot sector. And what you always want to be in the business of doing is knowing what are the hottest stocks in the last 5 days, or the last 30 days, or the last 90 days, especially the 30 and 90. They're great, and they're great signals for potential swing trade opportunities, right? 5 days, that's why I'm looking for momentum for day trades, right? I'm not looking at a 5-day momentum for something I intend to swing potentially longer than 5 days. So I'm just going to go through here. We can see the energy sector. It has kind of filled its gap. It's filled its gap right here. We still have some room up to the 200 SMA. So that's pretty hot, right? We've also got the financial services. Not a real big fan of trading any sort of financial services. They don't give me enough range. But again, it's making its comeback as well. We can look at the real estate market. That is making a comeback. Again, we still have approximately, 30, maybe $40 up to the 200 SMA for resistance. And then we look at the industrials. The industrials, man, it reclaimed its 200 SMA last week. The key is going to be, can it hold? However, we're talking 6 days, right? Or 5 days. So again, that's going to be key for this week. And of course, if you see something that is kind of breaking out, you might want to check under the stocks that are included in that particular sector, just so you can kind of get some ideas, right? So again, if we wanted to look Now, again, I don't have conditions on this scan here. I don't believe, yeah, I don't have conditions on here at all. But again, I don't really want to have to go through 292 stocks right here, as we can see. It's just not my thing, right? As we can see, this, yeah, I don't want to go through 292 stocks. Just not my deal. So what you could do is, if you tend to play stocks that are maybe are small caps, right? You don't want to trade anything over 20, 25, $30. You can create a scan that will only scan for stocks under $30. Maybe you only want to trade stocks that do a certain level of liquidity, right? Maybe you want to only do 500,000 for swing trades, or a minimum of 1 million shares average volume for day trades. For me, those are the two areas that I focus on. I will not consider anything for a swing trade unless it does, on average, 500,000 shares. For a day trade, I will take nothing less than 1 million. And frankly, even 1 million is kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. I like liquidity. I like being able to get into a stock, which is usually no problem for any stock you want to buy. However, having the liquidity to get out of a stock, right? To get out of the stock, that's more important to me than anything else, right? That's almost more important than price. If I can't get out of the stock, it makes no sense to get it, right? All you're doing is throwing somebody else a lifeline who is drowning in quicksand. You buy their shares, they get out, they're saved. Now you're the one drowning, right? Don't rely on somebody else's generosity to get you out of something. Again, but that's kind of how I go through. I'll go through the sectors and I'll see. I just want to see quickly. I can hit the space bar and it will take me to the next one. I kind of want to get an idea of where the sectors are. Man, technology is hot. Like this thing, man, I think this is just going to be another monster week for the technology sector. Again, man, we can just, like you can see, we're right there at that resistance level, right? So it's come all the way back. I think this may be the week that it just rips past. It actually is going to continue what it was doing earlier this year before the COVID-19 pandemic. It's pretty consumer defensive. It's on its way back. It did remount the 200 SMA and had another day above it. So that's good. We got the utility sector. It hit the 200 SMA on Friday, and then it kind of just pulled back. So again, the key for that right here, we want that to bust over the 200 SMA and to hold. And then, of course, we have healthcare, and healthcare is just, it's kicking ass, right? A lot of it was helped out from this whole COVID-19. I mean, even though it dipped down, it's roared back, right? So again, then I like to change over to my indexes, right? Or my indices, however y'all want to say it. And what I'll do is I'll look at these. I'll go through and I want to sort by the last 5 days, right? I want to sort through the last 5 days, and I want to see what potential plays are there for me, right? Now, before I go through any of these stocks down here, I want to kind of see what jumps out at me, right? So now we've got the S&P 500 high beta portfolio. It reclaimed its 200 SMA last week, and it is kind of high up here. So again, cool. We'll just go through here. Let's see. This is the Brazil ETF. It's got some ways to go before it hits the resistance of the 200 SMA. My concern, first and foremost, is that it has to fill this gap. If it fails to fill this gap, the 200 SMA is not really going to matter, right? So we're going to look at XELE, which is the Select Energy ETF. This has some upside. However, again, we're 5 days up, right? So it had a nice day on Friday, right? When a lot of things had a range taken out of it, this thing was cooking. We have the U.S. oil. Oh, man. Oil just got the shit beat out of it this year. And then, of course, they did that reverse, the 1 to 8 reverse split, which kind of just drove the price back up. However, oil, man, I don't know. I mean, it's grinding, right? It's grinding, but it's just not my thing. It's not hot. I want hot heat. I want momentum. I want things that give me a chance to make money today or the day I take the trade. I don't want to, listen, I'll swing something if I know I'm going to make some serious money. However, if I'm trying to day trade something, I don't want to day trade something that's going to turn into a damn swing trade. If I'm day trading it, I don't want to be in the stock all day. I want to get in and I want to get out. That's what I want to do. All right, so we've got the financial ETF. It hit the 200 SMA on Friday, and then it got rejected. We've got the India ETN. Yeah, not my thing. Some of these things, I don't do well, like as far as ETF wise, right? Some of these things I don't want to trade. Some of these things I will never trade. I just want to know if the stocks inside these ETFs, if they're cooking, then I want to be in business. I want to take some of these things, right? So we can see this is the Dow Jones Transportation Average. I know I said last week in some of my market recaps and then the watch lists, I said I'm not ready to trade airlines. I am ready to trade airlines. Like, listen, there's too much movement, too much range, too much action for me to be sitting on the sideline saying, "Hey, people don't give a shit." They're not. Traders don't care that people are not getting on planes, that are not traveling like they used to. It doesn't matter, right? A lot of these stocks were being picked up off the bottom and they're just being ridden for massive profits, man. It's unbelievable. But we can go through real quickly here, right? Just from the last 5 days, we can go through and we can see what are the hottest stocks in the last 5 days in these sectors, right? And you can see I even have some of these levels marked out and look what they're doing, right? JetBlue. I had this marked. I didn't take it, right? I could have took this on, anywhere. I could have took us on the flat top breakout, and I could have ripped some serious money. But guess what? I had a bias, right? And this is what we need to do as traders. We need to realize and recognize when we do have a bias against something that we're not married to our bias, that we're open to our bias changing. 1 second, let me take a drink here real quick. But again, like I said, we got to make sure that we're not allowing our bias to cloud our vision. We need to be flexible. And that's something I had to learn last week, right? As I went through some of these stocks on Friday night after the market closed, just to kind of see, to kind of get an idea of how to prepare mentally for this week. This is what I saw. I saw a lot of stocks that I could have made some serious gains on, but because my bias and honestly, maybe even a little bit of my arrogance, right? That I've won so much this year that I'm thinking like, hey, whatever I'm picking is turning to gold. Well, the problem is I'm missing plays. I'm missing plays that are gold plays. And I don't mean gold as in the metal. I mean gold as in kick-ass plays, right? So we've got this rider system. Man, some of these things were hot, right? Like I should have been in these things. But again, we always want to be in the business of knowing what are the hottest stocks, right? The hottest 50, the hottest 100 stocks in the last 5 days, the last 30 days, the last 90 days, because those stocks are the ones that have the momentum, right? We're not waiting for something to prove to us it's got momentum. It's already proven it, right? It's already proven it. So we already know where stocks can go. We already know where stocks have been. So that's why it's important to kind of make sure we pay attention to these stocks, right? Again, and on TC2000, I have a custom column set here. And if you want to hit me up, you can hit me up here at P Masters on TC2000, and I will be more than happy to share with you my column sort. And then again, all you got to do is go up here and you can, if I want to change by the last 30 days, I can see in the last 30 days in this sector, right? In this sector, the last 30 days, this what is it? Avis car budget, right? It is the hottest stock in the last 30 days, right? In the last 90 days, it's this JB Hunt transportation, right? I mean, look at that. That's hot. And once it claimed, I mean, it was a flat top breakout, reclaimed its 200 SMA, and it just gapped up and kicked ass, right? So this is why we want to be in the business of studying these things, right? So I'm going to kind of go through these here a little bit. There may be some commentary, there may not be. Just relax. On TC2000, this is another nice thing that I haven't found on any other platform, whether it be Thinkorswim or Dash Trader Pro or even Interactive Brokers Trader Workstation. TC2000 has this T2108, right? And this is the percentage of stocks that are above the 40-day PMA. And on the right hand side here, you see these numbers. This is not a stock price. This is percentage, right? This is converted to percentage. So we can go back here and look where the pandemic hit, right? It just flushed down, and it kind of came back a little bit, but it got down to a point where it was less than 5% of the stocks were above its 40-day average. And then sure enough, April came around and it started kicking up, and we can see, man, like the whole month of April just kicked ass, right? It got back up to 85%. So if you were to take almost any sort of swing early April, man, chances are it would have been one of the 85% that just gone up since then, right? Again, I focus mainly on day trading. I did take some swings. They were profitable. Had I known then what I know now, which is always obviously the case, right? Hindsight's always 20/20. Had I known then what I know now, I would have loaded up with swings and just sat around for the next month, had less stress, wouldn't have had to get up as early as I did each and every day, wouldn't have to sit here and trade back and forth, wouldn't have to wait for entries, wouldn't have to decide where exits are. I could just buy and sit on my ass and do nothing but wait, right? But I didn't. And then, of course, it came back down and kind of went sideways. Got back down here in the middle of May where it was around 40%, went about 45%. And now look at this. We're back up. Almost 90% of the stocks, right, are above their 40-day average. That's hot, right? This is hot. Like, I don't even know if this is the all-time high as far as this, right? It's kind of looking around that area, right? So, man. Yeah, I don't think as far as 2015 or end of 2014, yeah. And again, this is not a stock or anything, right? But as far as back as the late 2014, this is the all-time high. This is the high for that, right? The high for that, at least for that time period. It may be the all-time high for all I know. But that's hot, right? And I love this, right? This kind of gives me my idea on what my bias should be for the week, right? Again, not saying that it's the only thing that makes my determination on what my bias should be, but that gives me a good idea on what kind of bias I should look for. The Dow Jones Real Estate ETF, we still have a little bit of room up to the 200 SMA. However, I'm not looking to do anything with that particularly. But again, I want to be aware that, look, it's coming up to the 200 SMA, and I want to see what stocks is making that happen. So if we go here, we can see we got the MFA Financial. It's a small cap, not really doing anything for it. Man, this SPG, that's nice. That's hot. Look at that. Flat top breakout at 75. Now we're up to 88.60. We have room all the way up to 120. However, I think we have to fill this gap here first and then fill this gap before we can think about what life can be like above 200, right? So again, it's a possibility. But again, you want to know, you want to look for stocks that fit your, again, we can see all these flat top breakouts. Look at this, just right on across. Boom, right? I guarantee you pretty much all these stocks are almost the same thing, right? Look at this. I've seen a lot of these stocks now that are really hitting almost flat top breakout levels, right? You can find so many hot plays in this. Again, same thing. It's a little bit of a small cap, but man, I didn't go through this sector last week. It's not, real estate's not my thing, right? I have the things I trade well, and that's usually what I stick with. But man, and this is the emerging markets ETF fund, right? Man, this is nice. We got above the 200 SMA. We're looking good there. So we can go back and we can look at some of these things here the last 5 days. Look at this stuff. Let's see what looks hot, right? Let me scroll out a little bit here. Some of these things have some nice room, right? Some of them reclaim the 200 SMA. Man, look at this. Last week, not only did the stock reclaim the 20, right? 9 kind of came up. That, man, and reclaimed the 200 right here and it did it all on Monday. All on Monday. That's hot. but we can get some ideas, right? We can get some ideas on things here. Let me change the scan here, and I'm gonna add a volume scan just so I'm looking at things that give me 500,000 or more, right? Because again, that's what I like to do for swing trades. So again, now we can see it takes this list down quite a bit. You got some nice plays, right? This one here, coiling up, right? This BBN, not really my forte. However, TC2000, man, you can just draw your trend line across here. We're waiting, right? We're waiting for it to bust above things. This isn't my kind of a play. I don't like these small caps anymore. I used to trade small caps just because, hey, that's what I could afford in the beginning, right? That's why I thought you just buy the stocks you can afford. Problem is that you don't have a lot of range on a lot of this. Like BBN, like it had a 50 cent range. I want to be in the business of trading things that move at least a buck or more, especially for a day trade, for a swing trade. That's fine if you can make 50 cents a day, but then how long do you have to hold it before you really hit your reward to risk ratio target goals, right? So that's just the way I approach it. Right now, I'm not really seeing a whole lot that's kind of really sticking on my. Not seeing a whole lot that's kind of really sticking out to me as far as putting on my list. But then again, we haven't gone through my 90-day Momo scan yet, which is really where I get a lot of my 35-day Momos. I just really go through the indices and the sectors to kind of get an idea of what I may want to be looking out for on my stocks, right? So you get the Russell 2000 index. Man, that's hot. Reclaimed the 200 SMA last week. And for those that are not familiar, the 200 SMA is my red line on the chart. I try to keep all of my indicator, my moving averages, the same color, no matter what chart I'm using, whether it's TC2000, Thinkorswim, NedVed Dash Trader Pro, no matter what software I'm using. I want to keep my moving averages consistent, so I know that no matter what software I'm using, I know I'm always going to be looking at my light blue line is always going to be my 9 EMA. And so forth. Solar ETF. FSLR reclaimed its 200 SMA last week. SPWR hasn't, right? It's got that 200 level resistance there, so we want to kind of be careful with that. This one here, we got a nice consolidation. At some point, I do expect a break. However, this doesn't really do a whole bunch. This is not a good day trading thing. So I would maybe be looking more for this as a swing trade, because we know if we can make it back, which most stocks are making it back to where they kind of dumped off back before the pandemic. If we can make it back up here to where it was around mid-April or mid-February, man, you've got at least, $6 room, right? So it's not a bad swing trade. Let's see, we're Dow Jones Industrial Average. Reclaim its 200 SMA. We have the China Index ETF. I have my thoughts on China. Although, listen, I'm not really going to bitch and complain because LK last week was a hot-ass winner for me, right? Seriously, got in at 209 on a swing, right? I just bought some shares because I thought, well, at some point, worst case, if it goes down, no, I just lose whatever I got invested in it, right? If it goes to zero. But again, there was a lot of action on Monday, and it just kind of carried through. And, man, like at one point, we got up to 650, right? Yes, I got out. So you can really make some serious cash on that, right? And of course, we got the QQQ, which we've already looked at. We've got the Innovator 50 ETF. Again, right now we're right at the 200 SMA. It's got to break over that, so you could put that on the watch, or as far as the stocks within that. We can look down here. We can see in the last 5 days, the hottest stock in this was this IR, this Ingersoll Rand Incorporated. It reclaimed its 200 SMA on Friday, and looks like you got room all the way up to the 37. Oh, man. You know what? It's going on the list, baby. Going on the list, right? I love me some tech stocks. Tech stocks, they move, right? Zoom had a phenomenal week, right? It got up. Now it's coming back. And this is good. This is what I wanted to see. On Friday, actually on Thursday and Friday, right? It was up too high on Wednesday. I thought, well, I'll short it. But with the market going up, I didn't want to get caught in a short squeeze. So I'm waiting for a pullback to the 9. Right now, you're still about what, $12 away from the 9 EMA. So a little too risky for my taste, for my comfort. It really should be a little too risky for anybody's comfort, right? But you can go through these tech stocks and you can see just kind of, you can see the breakout right here, right? A breakout right there. Technically, you could have even got in down here. That'd have been nice, right? But some of these stocks are a little pricey, especially for a lot of new traders or traders that are under PDT, people that have smaller accounts. They'll see a $353 stock and they're like, I can't afford but 10 of them or 20 of them, right? But that's okay. If you look at this, right, I want you to look at the average to range, right? It moves on average $18. $18 over the past 14 days. So sure, maybe you can only afford, maybe only afford 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50 shares. If you can afford 10 shares and it moves $18, you make $180. It's not bad. It's not a bad day, right? $200 a day makes makes it a job, right? You make 50 grand a year doing this, right? You got 20 shares, right? Maybe you make $360, right? You got 100 shares, you're making some coin, baby. Almost 2 grand. So again, I'm going to go through this list real quick here, and I'm going to see what I like. So forgive me for a moment here. I'm just going to mute this for 1 second while I go through this and take a drink. Thanks, guys. I'm back. It's so hot right now. Not just the market, it's the weather, right? Got to keep hydrated. Now, you might be able to get on a day 2 play for a swing, right? Obviously Friday would have been the ideal entry for this. You're probably going to be risking $2 or $3 maybe. But again, you have room. You have room up. If we can get up here, if we can just get back up to where the gap started back in the middle of February, right? You probably got about $8, $9 room. I'm going to put this on my list to watch for a potential. I might, depending on how price action is in the morning, I may think about taking that as a swing trade, right? That's nice. Facebook might be a nice entry, right? There's really no price pattern here for it, other than the fact that you have the 9 EMA that is curling right up in the kitchen of right now of this candle. So it's possible that this could be a good play. I'm going to put this on my list. I don't really like to trade Facebook or any of those other large type stocks like Google or I'll trade Apple, but like Amazon and stuff. To me, they almost move like grandpa stocks, right? This Adobe is hot, right? This, man, I so wanted to take this as a swing trade back, and back when it all kind of just crashed down. I didn't, right? I was thinking like, man, this thing is going to just rip back at some point. Shit. But again, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Some people will look at this and be like, man, it's almost a $400 stock, but it moves on average $10 a day, right? Kind of stuck in a range there. Booz Allen. Yeah, some of this stuff I need to pull. I want to pull back the swings, the swing pattern that I use almost religiously anymore. I'm a pullback guy. I like the pullbacks. I like a pullback to my 9. I like a pullback to price support, or my favorite pattern as of late, as like this year that I'm 100% win rate on, is pullback to the 20 and a remount of the 9. And they have gone. I have won 100% of the time on this. So that's kind of what I want to be in the business of looking for. When I go and I start looking for swing trades, that's what I'm looking for, right? So I'm looking for day trades for right now. Man, like that just, it couldn't hold its 9 and it's 20. Again, we're kind of getting down a little bit here. Yeah, we're in the negatives. So we've got the momentum factor ETF. Now we're getting in the negatives here, and gold is down, obviously. The gold trust. All right, so the next thing I do is I flip over to my 90-day Momo scan, and I'm just going to run through these real quick here. Feel free to watch, see anything that you like. Again, I don't recommend that you add things to your list that I add to mine. Just because 9 times out of 10, these are plays that I've played successfully before. So I know how to play them. If you have never played them before, or you're just seeing these for the first time, I don't recommend that you try taking them. I actually recommend that you maybe add them to your list and maybe study them, maybe use them as a paper trade until you get comfortable with the way a stock trades. Because all stocks don't trade the same way. Some stocks will push up and then pull back. Someone will religiously pull back to the 20 and then go. Some stocks will only pull back to the 9. Some stocks will rip and they just won't ever pull back, right? Until they dump. And then it's way too late, right? So again, I just kind of want to go through these real quick here without having to give a lot of commentary, because again, we're already 37 minutes into this video. And really, I like to make my watch list. I do my watch list pretty much in 20 to 30 minutes. On Sunday night. Sometimes maybe goes to 40, just because I'll spend a little extra time looking for certain types of plays. So I'm just going to run through these real quick here. I'm just looking through the last 5 days, right? And I'm going to go until I think I have enough stocks on my list that I can kind of cull down and find the best plays for me, right? So again, forgive me if I'm not speaking here real quick. I'm just going to run through these here, and you're more than welcome to watch me. Man, that's up too many days in a row. Avis, man, look at that move. Move started from down to a sub 14, actually go down to 10. It's ripped back. America is freaking great, dude. Like nothing can keep us down. This market is amazing. It's the greatest job in the world. For those of you that are not doing it full time, you really should be trying to achieve success and profitability to where you can do this full time for a living. Honestly, it's probably the best job I ever had. And listen, and I've taught high school, which I thought was a really rewarding experience. I used to coach high school football. I've been a filmmaker. I still am a filmmaker. Screenwriter. I've done all kinds of really cool things, right? This is probably the most rewarding and most fun job or career that I've ever had. And that's saying a lot because filmmaking was phenomenal, right? It was a great experience. Oh, let's see here. I need some hot plays, right? Some of these things, they were up 4 or 5 days last week, right? Some of them, they haven't really pulled back much, but I'm looking for some hot patterns here, right? Mainly, I'm probably going to be looking for at least a day 2 continuation play, of a recent pattern, but I think it might be a little hard to find some. It's interesting. This is interesting. I like this, right? First off, if I get a flat top breakout here tomorrow, I'm thinking about this one. I'm thinking about this. I'm just going to right click and put an alert on here. This is what I want to know. I want to know when it does. I don't want to put, I don't know. I don't really want to put it on my list. Because again, it's a petroleum stock, right? Let's go back up one. Yeah, it's a petroleum stock, right? But again, if it breaks, right? Too close to 200 SMA. This one, the U.S. Steel. This could be a potential. But man, the range is shit. Nicola. No. Man. All these things were up so much. Man, this is just way too many freaking stocks to go through. I need, man, I even got volume on there as well. Oh, shit. Okay. Let's see what we can find on the bottom, right? Again, these have been great plays to find something it's come off the bottom. Again, it's really probably more of a 90-day bottom I'm looking for. I don't really want something that's in the 5 days. But yeah, man, look at this. I hit TVIC so many times on its run up back here. Man, March, from the beginning of March to the middle of March, TVIX was the absolute play every day. For the first time, like I was like completely in 6-figure trades. It was nuts. Yeah, some of it was margin, right? But again, you're being in a 6-figure trade. You talk about learning how to manage stress on the fly. Those things were just nuts. All right, some of these things were up. They're just kind of pulling back. Let's see. That might be interesting if it could. No. This could be interesting if it actually can remount the 20 and remount the 9. That might be interesting. I'm going to put this on my list to watch for this week. These are like some of the nice pullbacks. Right, 5-day. Let's see. Oh, good Lord. This is where all the money is made, right? Like a lot of people think you make money in your trading day, and you do. You take your trades on the trading day. This is where the money is made is the night before. When you're going through your list, you're getting ideas. You're thinking about what potential plays are there for you, right? Doing the research, going through the stocks. Honestly, I'll go through on any given day. I'll probably go through anywhere from 800 to 1,000 stocks on the weekend. Sometimes I'll do it on Friday night, sometimes on Saturday. Mostly I do a lot of it on Sunday night. Like I did go through a lot of stocks on Friday night and then a little bit this afternoon. I just didn't really start compiling a list here. This was interesting. This Argent, it pulled back to the 50 SMA, right? It held and then it bounced back. There is a potential for this to bounce this week, right? So we're going to put this on our list as well. Again, in worst case scenario, if it does bust below, let's go back up one. If it does bust below the 50 SMA, we could have a nice short. However, we got to remember that it started coming down at 134, right? So we're at 120 now. And then the 50 SMA is right here at 117. But we do have room down to the 200 SMA. That could be a nice short, right? So again, depending on price action, we'll figure out what we're going to do with it. Again, this one here kind of blew below the 50 SMA, and then it remounted and held. Again, this might be something if it can reverse this trend, and there's a good chance, right? This is 5 days in a row that it's down. There's a good chance this could be a bounce tomorrow. I'll put this on my list. Again, 1.6 million shares. I don't know. Could be some good opportunities here. All right, I'm going to change over to my 90-day, and I'm going to look and see what I have as far as plays that were hot for the last 90 days. These are going to be things that's going to tell me that if I want to continue taking some swings, these might be some good opportunities here, right? We've got this NVAX, which remounted the 9 EMA. However, I don't really have a price pattern on that. So again, my philosophy, my rules for trading, right? My strategy is no price pattern. I don't take a trade. Like I don't take one, right? We got a nice flag here, right? Again, I'm looking for this blue apron to break this trend line, right? Again, I can either do there or like, you know what? Let me see. If I can get it to break this trend line right here, I want to be aware of it, right? I want to be aware of it. UNFI, not enough range, right? I need it over 23 for me to be interested. OSTK, man, this thing has been hot, right? Look at where it got down in March, below $3, right? Below $3, and it's just roared back. This thing was a piece of shit for the most part last year, right? We can scroll back here and look, and it was hot around the fall, beginning of fall last year, and then it just took a shit, right? And then it didn't do shit all year, right? Even into this new year, right? It didn't really do much. It just kind of came up a little bit. It just kind of went around sideways, and then when everything else tanked, it tanked, but it didn't have as far to fall, right? And look where it's at now. It's back to almost year-long highs, so or kind of close to, yeah, but almost around the area. All right, so we got Big with them, Baritone. Yeah, I knew this thing was going to dump on Friday. I just had that feeling. Mainly because I put it on my list, right? If I put it on my list, usually it's going to dump, especially after it's been up so much. Let's see, we got Wayfair. This might be a potential short for tomorrow, right? Again, my only concern is day 3. However, you've got room down to your 50 SMA, like around the 125 area here. But we've got some previous price levels. I mean, you've got support right here at about 153. This price support is I had put on here. Actually, it was a price resistance from previous, right? Well, man, it was way back too. But yeah, price has a memory. Like, it doesn't matter if it happens now or 3 years ago or 3 years from now. Price has a memory. So again, my concern is, like, I could potentially take this for a short tomorrow. If we can break below this 167.32, I'll probably take it for a short. I'll have room down to 153. Then later on to 139. And then, man, if we can get all the room down to below 130, we'll be in business. I'm starting to see that I'm taking a short bias on most of these things. So I think a lot of these things are just kind of up too high. Either they're going to consolidate or they're going to pull back and dump. So, I mean, this would be interesting for a potential flat top breakout. However, look where the move started. The move started at 13 and we're $2 away. I'll wait and see what the price action does tomorrow before I do anything. Again, if it breaks this trend line, I'll get alerted. I'm not going to really put it on my list just because I don't really think it's going to. Need more of a pullback for that. I do think this gets back up to about the 50, right? I'm going to put this on there just for a potential watch for a swing. I need it to hold the 9 EMA. Preferably, I would like it to pull back to the 20 SMA around like a little sub 42 and hold, and that'll be nice. mRNA, this shit's all over the place. This SPWH, man. Sportsman Warehouse Holdings. Look at that. That's nice, though. I mean, it's a small cap, but still. You can take some serious sides in that. You could have got a $5 rip out of that play. What the fuck? Sorry for cursing. Right. This isn't so bad. I mean, even for a small cap, right? It's got its 9 EMA right underneath. This is a potential, right? You've got some room on this here. Again, my only concern is we're at the top of the Bollinger Band, right? So, but we're not oversold or overbought or anything. So, you do have room up to possibly 14, 13. I'll put this on my list. I think I did flag it, right? Yeah, I flagged it now. But again, I want to know if this breaks this trend line here. And I've watched it before, right? Because I've got other things on here as well. Like, see, I was looking for this flat top breakout, and it did. It broke out from 9, got up to 14. So I didn't take this, but I probably should have. So, and look at this. The old resistance became a new support. So that's nice. You know what? Oil looks like it's going to be in the play this week. Just up, 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 up. Biocare. The hot sector. Again, this held, but again, I don't know. I mean, how much more room does it have to go? We do have some room. I mean, we've got some room up here. We're at, 2-year resistance level. I could have took some. I had some ideas, right? Obviously, it would have been great here. But man, you take this out this level here. Look at this. And the reason why the breakout would have failed here at this point anyway is because look where the move started. The move started down here and went there. So I wouldn't have got in on this point. I think that's why I stopped watching it, because I was like, it's just way too far. It's too extended. But man, once it came down, kind of went sideways a little bit, kind of got its bearings. We're from 7 up almost twice its price though. DraftKings. That's another interesting one that I haven't been playing. I kind of really want this to pull back to the 9 EMA. Like I want this a little bit tighter. I will put this on my list for tomorrow. Actually, I'll put it on there for this week. LBGO, this thing has been really awesome, right? Awesome as of late. However, it's kind of been pulled back. It lost its 20. I'm looking for this to remount tomorrow. This is on my list now. I feel like I got so many freaking swing trade ideas on here. I need more day trade. What the? Is this a buyout or some shit? Because like it's just sideways crap. There's no way it's doing 1.5 mil share and just going sideways all the time. What the fuck? Sorry for cursing. You know what? I was looking at something on Friday night. Let me see. I think this is what I was. Yeah. Look at this. This A-Bio, right? This is. I was just thinking about it. Like when I saw that. When I saw the T-Bio, I remembered on Friday night. I was like, man, this A-Bio's got some room to move. Like this may be my play for tomorrow. This could be a nice swing. If it can hold this 9 tomorrow, like tomorrow might be a day 1 entry on this, right? You could probably take this for a swing. If we can fill the gap back up to 13, I think we've got some serious room to go. But again, yeah, I think this is my play for tomorrow. Like I knew I had something on Friday night that I kept thinking like, man, it was hot. This fiber, this will be nice. I'm looking for this to pull back to the 20 and hold. If it can pull back to the 20 and hold, we're probably looking at about 61.50. Man, we've got some serious room up, right? So this is my probably my big swing look for the week, right? This is my swing idea that I really, really want to have happen. I should have taken this back in April. In April, I was thinking like, well, I actually used fiber for some independent contractor work, and I didn't have the greatest experience with a couple people that were supposed to make me intro videos, right, for these videos that I do for y'all now. I paid, I gave all the information, everything, and then the guy ghosted me, right? So obviously I got my money back. However, it kind of really kind of soured my opinion on Fiverr. And I'm not complaining, right? Because listen, Fiverr's got some amazing people. The gentleman who did my website, got him from Fiverr. The gentleman who did my business logo, got him from Fiverr. So I've had good experiences, right? I just let that cloud my bias because I was pissed, right? But look at this, man. Once you got this once you got this break right here, man, it's just constant. Range break, right? Range break. Then it pulls back to the 9. Once you get once you hold above the 9 there, it just rips up, right? Rips up, pulls back to the 20, remounts the 9. What did I tell you? Pull back to the 20, remount the 9, and it goes from 60 up here to 74. So look, I just told you this pattern works almost 100% of the time. Forgive me for cursing. I'm sorry. It's like third or fourth time. I apologize. But seriously, it works. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I get so excited because this thing is awesome. Like if you could probably just play the swing pattern right now and you could really just make some serious money, right? Again, kind of going through a lot of stuff here, right? This might be interesting if it can. ZS. It is hot. Not the stock, it's hot weather right now. Anyways, I'm going to look real quick here through. I want to look real quick here through my 10% scan. Like I have a 10% gainer scan. All right, so stocks that move 10% or more. Let me scroll this out here a little bit. I want to see what I have in the last 5 days. Ooh. Yeah, no. I can't do those sub $2. I can't do penny stocks for shit. They just don't move enough for me. But there's some plays on here where you actually could do something. I'm not going to go through the whole list. It's 157 stocks, and many of them. This SRG, baby. It's a little too late for a swing. However, you can't wait for it to pull back to the 9, and if you can get a green candle to hold, they had excellent entry for that, right? Let's see here. Let's go through my watch list and kind of cull it down. This will give me a chance to look at stocks that I did last week to see what on my list from Friday, and as far as the swings and stuff. That's the only problem I have with TC2000 is that when I flag stuff, I can't flag it to a specific type of list, right? I have to flag it all to one list. So I have to make sure I keep track on which ones I'm looking for swings and which ones I'm looking at day trade. Again, I know which ones I'm kind of looking for day trade because it has a specific range and it does a certain volume type. But this thing was hot on Friday. Like, look, dude. I took it on the range on this flat top break, intraday. Boom, and it was hot. This thing is staying on there for. I think this is another continuation for tomorrow. LK, same thing, man. It was hot previously, but again, it kind of roared back towards the end of the day, right? Like it had some nice highs in the morning, right? I left some on the table. But it just kind of pulled back, but then it kind of ripped back, right? So there's a good possibility that this could be another continuation. But again, that would make it a day 5 play on this. I don't think it's going to rip the way it was. We're going to need some pullback here, preferably a pullback to the 9 and the 20 EMAs right here would be phenomenal. I'd be very appreciative if it would do that for me. I'll be more than happy to hit that thing again if it does that. So SRG, I don't really think this is going to be I think this is going to be a potential short for tomorrow. This is a classic case for a rubber band snapback. It is outside the Bollinger Band completely, and we are completely overbought, right? Extremely overbought. I'm keeping this on there for a short for tomorrow. Kook, again, we are overbought. This has the room to fall. And again, if the market gaps up tomorrow, I think this will go down. I'm taking this off the list. It didn't do shit on Friday. And frankly, I didn't really want to put it on my list to begin with, but I think I was scraping for stocks, right? So many things were on day 4 and day 5. Again, this might be another, I don't know. I mean, it's too extended. Obviously, you're almost $2.50 away from your 9 EMA. I just don't think you can get a good short out of it, right? And the reason, it's close. It's close to being overbought. Listen, you could probably take it as a short and hit it. This SBGI, I'm looking to short this tomorrow. I think I know where my bias is tomorrow, right? Now, again, it could all go out the window, especially depending on what kind of earnings plays and PR. What kind of PR is out in the morning. UAL, I do have this on here. I am going to short this pig tomorrow, right? Like I said before, I wasn't ready to get in on the airlines, but I'm ready to short any of these damn things. I just think it's ready. I think it's ready to get shorted. Save, same thing. Almost pretty much everything I had on my list on Friday for potential continuation longs. These are going to become my big shorts for tomorrow. I think these are now this one here we put on earlier because we do think I do think it can break for a swing. A bio, that's a potential long. Air. Shimura, I just don't think there's enough range. I don't want that one on there. So let's take it off the list. Right. HXL. Potential short. And it's going to be hard because, again, as the market's ripping up, we can't marry ourselves to our bias, right? My bias has kind of shifted from the beginning of this list from being mainly looking for long plays to kind of shifting and saying, hey, you know what? Short may be where it's at. JDSC I keep on anyways. It'll be interesting to see what it does tomorrow. Because actually, like, yes, this is another potential long. Dust, Facebook, Denny's, I don't know. Got room down to the 200. It's just not enough range for me, but take it off the list. Where are the XL and where were we? Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, you've got some room, but I just don't think it's extended enough. We'll take it off the list. LBGO we've put on today. MC, I think this one continues to fall. I think we do get down to the 200 SMA. That'd be nice. That'd be nice for a short. So I'm looking to short. Pen. I don't know. The week has closed on Friday, so this could be another short. But again, we only have maybe down to like 30, 33 possible play. It's a shitty close. Like, I don't know. I might have to keep these things on my list until the morning to find out, to kind of see what kind of pre-market action is going before I decide to take off a whole bunch of these. Because again, some of these things may change depending on how everything goes over the weekend. Again, I haven't looked at futures right yet, so I'll look at futures later on tonight, or I'll look at them first thing in the morning. This could be hot. This J-Nug, man, it closed pretty strong on Friday, right? Like, it dipped down quite a bit, and then it just kind of ripped back. I mean, I so wanted to get on this. I was trying to time the bottom, and I really just couldn't. Like, it got down here, and then it was green, and I thought, cool, now we're going to reverse back. And it didn't, so, you know. And then by the time it broke my trend line here, I was already kind of done for the day. I had already kind of checked out mentally for the weekend. Let's see, but yeah, that's kind of my list for right now. So if you want this list, I'll go ahead and post a link to this. Again, it most likely will change by morning time when I see what kind of gappers are out there and what kind of earnings and PR news are out there, right? So again, hope you like this video. Do me a favor, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. And again, you can follow me at Twitter at LLC Parabolic, as well as on Instagram at Parabolic Trading, and at Facebook.com at Parabolic Trading LLC. All right, so it's Facebook.com/Parabolic Trading LLC. And of course, you can check us out at our website at ParabolicTradingLLC.com. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day. Love you all. And have a safe week trading. Be smart with your capital. Manage your risk. If you don't manage your risk, you're going to get crushed, and deliberately so. Take care, guys. Peace.